Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. Please subscribe to my channel. Tap the notification bell. I'd appreciate it majorly. So, Steve Bannon has been indicted, for fraud, wire fraud and conspiracy to commit wire fraud, something like that. I'll get to the indictment, the specifics. I'll read a portion of it, or at least some of it. And he's been indicted along with three other people, one of which is Brian Kolfage. This is over the We Will Build the Wall, or We Build the Wall, foundation or effort. It was a nonprofit, I think, set up by Brian Kolfage. He's the founder of it. And it was all about like private citizens self-financing the building of the wall to basically illustrate that it could be done and push the government to fund it and so forth, And I think their goal was to raise $25 million, which I think they ultimately did. But Brian Kolfage has been indicted as well, along with Steve Bannon and two other individuals who I'd never heard of before, one of which I think has popped up in political situations before. The other one, I don't even know if he's ever been, in the spotlight, but whatever. Brian Kolfage, Stephen Bannon, Andrew Bottolato, who's I think he's an attorney from Sarasota, Florida, as well as I think claims to be a venture capitalist. Timothy Shea, or She, I think it's Shea, from Castle, somewhere in Colorado, Newcastle, Colorado, Castle Rock, Colorado. And I'm not positive. I think he's a real estate agent broker in that area. That's what I think, but I'm not positive of that. So, it's pretty serious, I would say, but I do, and this has been, this indictment's coming from the Southern District of New York. Audrey Strauss, who's basically the U.S. attorney who took over for Jeffrey Berman, who recently resigned right before Ghislaine Maxwell was indicted, and was more or less forced out or pushed out by the Attorney General and presumably Trump. But whatever, but that's where this indictment is coming from, along with like the U.S. Postal Service. I don't know, it's the FBI and the U.S. Postal Service that were conducting the investigation because it involves, the mail, wire fraud. Basically, and I'll read it, I think they're being accused of diverting funds from this $25 million, not all of it. A lot of it went towards building the wall, and I'm not defending or whatever, anybody. I'm no fan of Steve Bannon. I think he's a total joke, and the way, it just cracks me up, dude. I see him make appearances in places on networks where he is totally allowed to say things that are absurd without being challenged in places that you would consider to be liberal, like CNBC and stuff like that, talking about organ harvesting and just crazy stuff. And on regular morning financial networks, and people don't even blink at it. It's just ridiculous. But whatever. So he's and just got off, I digress, or whatever the expression is. So they're being accused of diverting funds for personal use, basically, and the indictment says, and this is where it gets a little hairy, I think, for these individuals, but who knows? These guys have been doing, they've been setting up these types of organizations, and they usually know their stuff pretty good, but, so does the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Southern District of New York. They're being accused of setting up like third-party things and using fake invoices to basically avoid detection and stuff like that. I'll read the indictment. Okay, so, but Brian Kolfage, that's him and his wife, I believe, right there. He is the face of this effort. I think he did a number of different television appearances for it and flew around different parts of the country promoting it and raising funds for it. He's a double amputee. I'm fairly certain that happened either in Iraq or Afghanistan. So, and obviously, Steve Bannon, the Bottolato that's his picture right there. And like I said, he's had, this thing here talks about Steve Bannon's questionable relationship with this individual, because of some of the things he was involved with before. And like I said, the other guy I think is a real estate broker agent in Castle Rock, Colorado. But I don't want to show his picture because I'm not even sure if I got the right Timothy Shea. I think I do though. And I believe, these two individuals, they're not listed on this is the We Build the Wall foundation website. I mean, it's still here. And I think it was actually, basically complete. They raised the 25 million. They used the majority, I guess, of the 25 million to build the wall, and they have a before and after and all that and so forth. But those two individuals are not on the staff. And so I'm just assuming that maybe these other two individuals were part of, they're being accused, allegedly, a part of the scheme to set up third parties and divert funds to disguise their use. I'll read the indictment very quickly. Bannon's been arrested. He's been taken into a custody. He's probably being fingerprinted right now. And he's going to make a court appearance today, I believe, which will essentially serve as some kind of bond hearing. My guess is his bond will be set at a reasonable level, I assume. Who the hell knows, though? And he'll be released later today. That would be my guess. I think he has considerable financial resources himself. He's a wealthy man. I don't know what his net worth is, but it's huge. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's a little odd. When I'm processing it now, and it was just breaking a minute, because I think he's probably worth $100 million. And basically he's being accused of the fraud, the dollar amounts. Even though they raised 25 million, they're basically being accused of misusing hundreds of thousands for personal expenses, for personal use. So I don't know that, you make of that what you want. And but he's been arrested. He's been fingerprinted. He'll be in court later today for what I assume to be a bond hearing, and then an arraignment hearing will come later this week. I think. The other three, I don't know. I don't know if they've been arrested or what. They're all in different parts of the country. I didn't know Bannon even lived in New York, but he's been taken into custody, and I think in New York. I think he's in a jail in New York while he waits his bail hearing. I don't know where this dude is from. I think he's from Florida. I'm fairly certain. The other guy's from Sarasota, Florida, Bottolato, and Timothy Shea's from Castle Rock, Colorado, like I said. So let me get to the indictment very quickly, and we'll just see what happens. I do. I mean, almost like the Ghislaine, even though her court date is set for, I think it's June of next year of 2021, which is after Trump would be out of office. I do worry that these things are being done before Trump, because Trump's, in my opinion, is going to lose this election big time, huge. So, and that these things are coming down at a time when Trump can actually assist and has control over the justice system. Even though these things are separate, believe me, he's oversees the Justice Department. I mean, that's under his jurisdiction as the chief executive, Trump, and even beyond that, believe me, And you don't know, judges, whomever, it doesn't matter if they're appointed by this person or that point, or Obama, Bush, whatever. It doesn't matter, dude. You dangle a lifetime appointment, a federal appointment, or, they're going to be probably seeing a federal judge anyways, but, a higher up the food chain within the judicial system, and you can get the ruling you so desire. So them being indicted now as opposed to after the election or after Trump's out of office, could serve to benefit them, I would think. I don't know. We'll see. So rather than reading this, it says, according to the indictment unsealed today in Manhattan federal court, starting in approximately December 2018, Brian Kolfage, Steve Bannon, Andrew Bottolato, and Timothy Shea and others orchestrated a scheme to defraud hundreds of thousands of donors, including donors in the Southern District of New York, in connection with an online crowdfunding campaign ultimately known as We build the wall that raised more than $25 million to build a wall along the southern border of the United States. It's at the very most southern tip of Texas. It's right down, at that little point of Texas. It's on the website. I don't need to go through it. In particular, to induce donors to donate to the campaign, Kolfage repeatedly and falsely assured the public that he would not take a penny in salary or compensation, and that 100% of the funds raised will be used in the execution of our mission and purpose, because, as Bannon publicly stated, we're a volunteer organization. Believe me, they're going to claim that these were just expenses that they incurred, conducting the business of this effort, the We Build the Wall, not even though it's a nonprofit, they're going to convince that's what's, I don't know that this is totally up and shot. I mean, and I don't like Steve Bannon. I don't like Trump. But those representations were false. In truth, Kolfage, Bannon, Bottolato, and Shea received hundreds of thousands of dollars in donor funds from We Build the Wall, which they each used in a manner inconsistent with the organization's public representations. In particular, Kolfage covertly took for his personal use more than $350,000 in funds that donors had given to We Build the Wall, while Bannon, through a nonprofit organization under his control, Nonprofit One, received over $1 million from We Build the Wall, at least some of which Bannon used to cover hundreds of thousands of dollars in Bannon's personal expenses. To conceal the payments to Kolfage from We Build the Wall, Kolfage, Bannon, Boldado, and Shea devised a scheme to route those payments from We Build the Wall to Kolfage indirectly through Nonprofit One and a shell company under Shea's control, among other avenues. They did so by using fake invoices and sham vendor arrangements, among other ways, to ensure, as Kolfage noted in a text message to Boldado, that his pay arrangement remained confidential and kept on a need-to-know basis. It continues. So Kolfage he is Miramar Beach, Florida. He's from Florida. Bannon of Washington, D.C., Boldado of Sarasota, Florida, Shea of Castle Rock, Colorado. Each charged with one count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and one count of conspiracy to commit money laundering, each of which carries a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison. The statutory maximum penalties are prescribed by Congress, etc. And then that's pretty much the extent of it. That's enough. We don't need to know anymore. So, there's the indictment. It's definitely going to be a thorn in Bannon's side. And wonder what his net worth is. He's super rich, man. Bannon is he's like, he's in the right place at the right time throughout his life. And this says, Steve Bannon's net worth, I don't know what that is, $48 million. So, net worth $48 million. I don't know, as updated as of 8/20, August 20th, as of today. I don't know how accurate that is, but he's wealthy, so $100,000 of this used in expenses is, that's another probably claim he's going to make. So I didn't need to do this at all. And so we'll say, though, but the other people, these things cost a lot of money defending yourself. So it's just going to tie them up in court. And I don't know. That's the story there, man. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.